Hello and welcome to Pineapple Talk. I'm Leah, the founder and president of Pineapple Support, a charity I set up in 2018 for people working in the adult performance industry. We offer a support text service provided by trained volunteers and an online therapy service staffed by qualified counsellors, psychologists and psychotherapists.
Hi, and I'm Shelley, and I've been involved in Pineapple Support since its conception.
If you'd like to find out more information on Pineapple Support, you can do so at the website pineapple.support.org.
So in this session, it's our second one of a 4-part series focusing on remaining motivated in challenging times. All of our guests have careers in the adult industry, so we're keen to hear their thoughts and opinions in what has helped them in facing challenging times.
Hurrah. So,
hurrah.
Now we have Austin. So Austin has been in the adult industry, for 6 years now.
Long time.
Working for Mr. Skin. I was going to describe what Austin does, but honestly, it's part of the industry that I know very little about. It's all the kind of background technical bits. I just know that he's super clever and does cool stuff. So you can describe this yourself, Austin.
What an introduction. Well, like Leah said, my name is Austin Fiascone. I've been in the adult industry for a little bit over 6 years now. My role is officially the Director of Business Development. As Leah said, our main property is MrSkin.com. It's been around for 21 and a half years. It's the home of all things celebrity nudity online. It's sort of like a pop culture touchstone now. We've been in major motion pictures. We were on TV. We've been in SNL. We're on Howard Stern. But beyond that, over the course of the 21 years of the company, we've branched out into other things. So we have the gay counterpart to Mr. Skin, which is Mr. Man, that has all male celebrity nudity. We also own and operate Fleshbot.com, which is a gay, straight, and trans porn blog. It's sort of everything that's happening from new movie releases to model interviews to just general things about the industry. We also, in the last 2 years, have sort of branched out into more of the influencer space. So one of the things that's been really great about our position in the industry is that because we're sort of mainstream or more mainstream than a lot of adult companies, we're able to operate with a lot more clarity with mainstream outlets. And so it's allowed us to work with huge influencers that have sort of left the mainstream space to come more into the adult space. Vitaly comes to mind. There's a few others that I'd love to talk about, but I can't in this situation. But it's been a huge endeavor for us, and we're really happy about it. And we've been able to lean on a lot of the tech that we've built. My day-to-day is sort of the running of the company. So the business side of it, whether that's talking with partners of ours, we aggressively white label our sites, and then some pretty advanced billing where we're offering a month free to a site like Playboy, but we bill for it. So when a member joins Mr. Skin, they're also getting a free month of Playboy that then rebills. And we've been doing that for a number of years now. It's been really successful. I mentioned Playboy because it was one of the first ones we did, but we have about 17 or 18 different sites that we're partnered with in that way, which is awesome. And it's been a huge area of growth. So I oversee all of that. I oversee all of our ad inventory. I oversee all of the discussions between the business side and our tech team. Which is, I am sort of technical, but I am not a developer by any stretch of the imagination. So that's challenging, but enjoyable. I learn something new all the time. And that's, I do everything from that to on the phone with different influencers to, on the phone with Leah talking about Pineapple Support and mental health. I'm a jack of all trades, sort of. I just don't get in front of the camera. I guess that's the only thing I don't do.
So there we go. There's a good reason for me not to have been able to describe what you do, because you do everything.
So many hats.
A lot of hats.
I mean, that's got to be one way to keep interested and motivated, because I know that's something that I have kind of always, in every job that I've had, it's kind of, chief cook and pot wash. You're involved in most aspects of the business, and that really does keep you motivated and interested, and it stops you getting bored.
Stale.
Yeah. I think that's a huge thing, and it's one of the things and one of the reasons I love working for SK Entertainment, the holding company of Mr. Skin and our sites, is that, there's a lot of room to do other things. So, I came on really as just managing, initially when I first started, managing our straight affiliate program and our straight business relationships. And throughout the course of 6 years, it's really elevated to now you're running all of the sites. Now you're running all of our business relationships. Now, hey, let's investigate opening up some new business ideas. Let's go into the influencer space. Let's go out and buy some technology that, now we can leverage Instagram in a safe way for adult stars or for influencers. And so they've really empowered me to stay interested and stay motivated by allowing me to pursue other things that obviously have been pretty beneficial for the company overall, but also have been beneficial for my own mental health and being able to say, okay, I don't need to do the same thing every day when I wake up. There's something new that I can try or pursue.
I mean, you really, really have moved forward very quickly from only being in the company for 6 years to being in the position that you're in now. So you are obviously a very motivated person.
Yeah, I think so. I attribute a lot of that to my swimming career. I think I swam really competitively from like 4 to when my career ended at 22. I swam at university. I swam at the national level. And having the motivation to wake up, especially I live in Chicago still. I grew up here. Having the motivation to wake up at 5 a.m. and drive in darkness to the pool, shove your body into a cold Speedo, jump into a cold pool, swim all day, wake up, or you're trying to wake yourself up to go back to school because you're in the building. Then you do practice again. So I actually went many years of my life where I wouldn't see sunlight for an entire day. I'd be up before the sun rose and I wouldn't leave the school or training until the sun set. And so I think you have to be a certain breed or a little crazy maybe to be able to do that. But being able to wake up and pursue that kind of stuff really built a foundation for me about staying motivated, about seeing the end goal and really pushing towards that and not being distracted and not letting yourself get down.
Yeah, I mean, I put your motivation and down to your Post-it notes.
Oh yeah, I have. So I working from home, I don't do Post-it notes. So I'm not in my office. I have this. Leah's been to my office. I have a huge desk. It's about 6 or 7 feet long and 3 feet deep, and I just Post-it note everything. But working from home now, I'm right next to my balcony, so my dog, I can let him in and out. And so I don't do Post-it notes now because I don't have enough room, but I do these note cards, double-sided note cards. I have so many of them. They're scattered. I tried to clean it up before this, so I wasn't distracted, but I probably have 20 or 30 of these note cards double-sided that I'm constantly writing on and then throwing away when I'm done with them. So my organization system is, for how organized it is up here, it's not organized anywhere. It's awful.
Actually, it is. I mean, to me, having that capacity to write stuff down on the card, and then, as you say, you tick it off, or it's there, and then you flip it over, and then you do the other. It's quite contained, isn't it? It is. I don't know. I
wish it was more contained, but they're totally not. They're not any cohesiveness. I'll be talking about multiple things on one card that have no relation to one another. It's not any organized. I promise you.
I mean, are you a good multitasker? Because I just imagine you have to be in your work.
It's actually interesting you say that, and it's actually one of my huge faults. I'm actually a terrible multitasker, but what I'm really good at is segmenting my day to hit all of my tasks. So I know this about me, and maybe it's a swimming thing because it's very one-track mind that I can't do 2 things at once, but I'm really good at efficiently doing one thing and then another thing and then another thing and then another thing, and being able to transition between those things. It's something I've learned a long time. I can't hold multiple conversations at once. I can't, I need to be really focused on what I'm doing because I want to put out the best work that I can on that thing. And usually I can get through them all very quickly. If I set a task list for a day, I'll know exactly this is going to take me 30 minutes. This will take me 45, and let's just power through it all. So no, I'm not very good at multitasking, but I've learned to overcome the fact that I'm not good at multitasking by breaking up my day to just power through everything.
Did you kind of write a schedule for the day, or just know in your mind how long everything's going to take?
Yeah, so in the mornings, typically, it doesn't work all the time, but in the mornings I wake up, I feed the dog, and I start making tea. And in the course of making tea, I go over and pick up all my note cards and look at what I need to do for the day. And I sort of just mentally stage out, okay, I know I have this meeting. What can I do before this meeting? How can I transition into this? And almost without fail, your day is going to get derailed somewhere, especially, being so public facing, having to talk with people. I'm the main contact for most of the stuff at the company, either me or Sam Murkowski, our president. So I'm getting hit from a lot of angles. So you have to budget that into there as well. But for the most part, I have a pretty good feel by like 8:30 in the morning exactly how my day is going to go, when I can expect to get stuff done. And that helps set expectations for either our staff or partners that I'm working with, where I can say, hey, like perfect example this morning, we're working on something with Playgirl. And I had told Danny McCarran last night, like, hey, I'm going to talk with Dev in the morning. I'll let you know. This morning I talked with Dev. I know what we need to do. I communicated with Danny, like, this is when I expect it'll be done. I'll follow up with you. And so we work on it this morning. And then when I know it's going to be done, I'll follow up with Danny in the afternoon. And it's sort of, making sure I set those expectations for myself and then communicate those expectations to everyone else and budget my time accordingly to meet those expectations.
So I'm kind of curious how the transition has been, because it sounds like you're now having to work more from home because of the whole
entirely, yeah.
Last year. So moving from your amazing sounding, office space in terms of that big desk with all your Post-it notes, how that's been for you to now working at home and not having people around.
How is it with the team? Because if everyone is working from home now, some people are going to be, remain motivated easily from home. Others are going to be struggling. And I guess your job at the moment, another aspect of your job at the moment is to make sure that everyone is still working as a team, even though that they're all remote. How's that been for you?
Yeah, we were super scared. I'll be the first one to talk about it. I think we are super unique as a company in adult, especially. We have probably 60 to 70 employees. And of that, 45, 50 were in office in Chicago. So we had a really close-knit group in our office, and really abruptly the city shut down and we had to transition to working remote. And I know there was a big fear within the leadership and all of our department heads about, okay, how are we going to maintain our velocity and how are we going to maintain communication? How are we going to do that? And I have to give a lot of credit to all of the department heads, myself included, and to the leadership team and to our staff, because it wasn't an easy transition. It was not. We had to move equipment that we didn't think would fit into homes. We had to make sure people had fiber internet that was quick enough to do all this stuff. And the first month was a little rocky, but we've been able to maintain our velocity really well. I think the transition went really well, so well that even at the beginning of this year, we sort of decided, the future is very uncertain, but we've sort of decided that even when the future sort of clears itself out and we are able to return to the office, we would still allow people to work from home if that's what they chose to do. On a personal level, it was miserable. I've had a miserable time transitioning to home. I like being in my office. One of the things that I know a lot of people know about me is I'm a workaholic. And so one of the things I liked about going to an office was I would be in an office and I knew this is my work time. And when I would leave, it wasn't always the case, but when I would leave, I would say, okay, my work is done, or most of my work is done. And, if I have to respond to a few people, that's fine. I still struggle with it now, where I'll be working till 8, 9 p.m., 10 p.m. at night because the desk is right here, and I haven't been able to really overcome that. So that's been tough. And then obviously not having, my organization system, having to move from Post-it notes to note cards just for, the space sake, not being able to break up my day with lunch. Like, none of the restaurants have been open here in Chicago. In the summer, you could eat outside, but I think it's 17 degrees today. It's cold, Fahrenheit. I mean, it's cold. So you're not eating outside. So I don't have any real way to break up my day. I walk the dog and that's about it. So it's been tough for me, for sure.
Yeah. I know when we've spoken, you've said that it's been hard.
Yeah.
Working from home. And what were you saying about having your office in your living room? That was one of the major things for me when I actually made a room out the back, an office. And separated everything. And I try my very best never to take my laptop out of the office. Yeah. And once that door is closed, unless something comes through, obviously on the phone that's urgent and you get up and you do it. But otherwise, to really say, okay, I'm in the office at 9 and I'm leaving the office at 6 or 7. Right. to really go, these are my working hours, and to put a schedule in place where I go, and here is an hour where I'm going to have lunch out of the office